Welcome to Voices Inside of My Head, a Toby fanfiction, written by Ch.1-3. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Chapter 1. Toby's point of view, before Slenderman came along. Each and every day, I rot away at my windowsill. No school. The only times I leave the house is when my mother takes me to counseling. My last counselor thought I was a waste of his time and basically told my mom in secret to get a different one. It wasn't secret, they just told me to wait outside his office while he, quote-unquote, informed my mother of my condition. Then, when actually there's nothing wrong with me. The real reason to why I'm supposedly homeschooled is because years ago, weeks after my 14th birthday, I've grown a disorder called Tourette's. It's different for everyone who has it. It's like when you see a kid and he randomly shouts out swears even when he doesn't want to, or when a kid's hand twitches at random moments. For me, my head twitches, or ticks ever so often, and so I got bullied because of it, and I can't control my disorder. Boys call me Ticci Toby and beating me every day, till I was numb. Eventually I couldn't feel pain physically, and I started saying to those who wished to hurt me, you will never hurt me. Afterwards they'd come up with new ways to hurt me more, and I couldn't feel any of it. Every day I'd come home with a new cut or bruise without knowing it. My mother took me out of school because of thinking it's for my own good, when I really didn't care. Now it's been 3 years after I've been taken out. You may as well call me a high school dropout because she doesn't even teach me a single thing. Taking me out of school made me worse, however. I started biting my fingers involuntarily until my fingers would bleed, and Mom would force me to stop and heavily wrap my fingers up in gauze and bandages. It annoys me, but it helps me stop with my horrible addiction. I was never this bad. It was when Father left and my sister Lyra died in a car accident that nothing got through to me. I miss my sister. So because of the accident, I was put through counseling, because Mom couldn't talk to me firsthand by herself anymore, or with support of her friends. I hate counseling, but it gets me out of my room. Mom locks me in here. She doesn't let me decorate my room either. She put special locks on my window to keep me from running away, so she claims. So my room is bare. White bed sheets, gray barren walls, hardwood floors with no trace of any dust, or of anyone ever walking upon it. Even my view from the window upsets me. A blue-green house with a small yard decoration. A wide, newly paved street and a small wooded area to the left. It's so normal here, like that utopian city in Edward Scissorhands. I'm not normal, though. I crave change. My social skills are horrible. My mom's friends say I had awkward, underaged, and my vocabulary could use tremendous work. One time my cousin came over and we never actually talked. She said I act like PewDiePie, whoever that guy is. Not my fault my mother isolates me from the outside world. Even my clothes are bland. I haven't owned a pair of clothes other than the colors black and gray since I was 13. Now I'm 17, I should be doing my own things, but unfortunately, that will never happen. Toby, you have counseling today. I'll be up in 10 minutes to unlock your door, so that we can leave. My mom shouted from the kitchen, I presume. I huffed and took one last glance at my window before walking away to sit on my bed. That window is my only entertainment, and that's depressing. My boots sat beside my bed, and my footwear is the only thing I own that is the color brown. I slipped one boot on, and then the other, tying the laces almost perfectly. It was difficult because my hands are bandaged up for 15th time this month. If I had my choice to stay in school, I wouldn't be treated so boringly. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the lamp flicker. That's never happened before, and my eyes grew in excitement. The bulb flickered over and over. The more it happened, the wider my smile got. I reached my hand out to touch the light bulb. I felt nothing. Pulling my arm back, I carefully unwrapped my right hand. Surprisingly, my fingertips were almost fully healed. Gazing back at the lamp, I placed my fingertips on the light bulb once more. At first there was a sizzle noise, but it dissipated, and I felt warmth transfer from my tips to my hand, filling me with joy as I marveled at the now steadily glowing light. "Toby, stop that!" shouted my mother. Her shout snapped me out of my trance to see my hands smoking. She grabbed my wrist and took the lamp away from me. She placed both hands on either sides of my face and looked at me directly in my eyes. "What's wrong with you? How does that not hurt?" Mom scowled me both with anger and worry. My head twitched while she still grasped my face. Smack! Her hand planted across my face and left a sound that echoed across the house. "Sorry, Toby. I thought you were trying to get away from me. I forgot about your disorder." My eyes were wide. The slap didn't hurt, but the fact my own mom tried to hurt me spoke 1,000 words. She tried touching my face again, but I jerked back and left the room in a frenzy. Closed the door behind me and locked it. She shouted through the door angrily, demanding me to open up. I just kept backing up until I hit the wall behind me. "Toby, open up now, or else I'll call the police. I know you're still here." The thought of the police made my eyes widen more. I made a bolt for the front door. I didn't even bother to shut it. Looking around for a place to hide, the forest behind my house spoke to me. That's where I should go. It was close to winter, so it was cold out here. I could see my breath in the air. I jumped over the fence that circled my house. It bordered the woods, so in order to enter, I'd have to jump the fence no matter what. I didn't even touch the fence. I jumped over no problem and landed perfectly on my feet. And resuming my sprint, not stopping for anything. I can run forever, literally, because I can't feel pain. I can't feel pain in my chest from running out of oxygen. Unfortunately, I grew tired quickly and began to pace my running, and with my eyes closed, I really shouldn't run with eyes closed, but honestly, I don't care. I think I lost track of time. I have no idea how long I've been running. Never once did I open my eyes, but now would be a good time. Thud. How come that whole time I was running I never ran into anything till now? Hey, watch it. Why are you this deep in the woods anyways? Growled a boy maybe my age in a tan hoodie. He wore a necklace that had a bronze key dangling from his chain. It wasn't exactly noticeable from under his hood. He also wore a scary mask of some sort that was black and had red eyes and a red frown. Take a picture and it'll last longer. How long are you going to stare at me until you answer my question? He brutally asked me again. He pulled out a knife from his hoodie pocket, and it wasn't just any knife, though. He flipped the handles and the blade was uncovered. It was a butterfly knife. They were really cool, but right now my life depends on my answer. Every single time I've tried to answer him, my head twitched, canceling my speech. Dude, are you okay? Your head is spazzing out. The hooded boy asked nicely. I have Tourette's. I can't control it. I quickly spat out for twitching again. That's good to know. But if you don't answer me soon, then I'll cut out your heart and feed it to my friend. The hooded boy got scary again and got down on his knees only to pin me to the ground and had the knife at my neck. The blade brushed across my throat. I ran away from home. Every time my head ticked, my throat got cut lightly. Okay, then. The hooded boy got off me and stood up. He offered me a hand and I hesitantly took it. While back on my feet, he folded the knife back up and put it back in his hooded pocket. Sorry if I scared you. Thought you were someone who was playing a dumb game. I stayed silent. You don't speak much, don't you? I shook my head no. Is that your actual face? I asked, pointing at his face with my bandage hand. No, this is just to protect my identity. I can take it off, but I'd prefer if I didn't. He answered back while pulling down his hood. Could you, please? I asked faintly. He huffed but took off the mask. It was actually a beanie. The boy had shaggy blonde hair and green eyes. This is what I can handle. He no longer looked scary, but fairly average. My name is Hoodie. Sorry we got off the wrong foot. What's your name? He held out his hand for me to shake, so I accepted the offer and shook his hand. My name is Toby. Everyone calls me piggy, Toby. I can understand why they call you that. What happened to your hand? I looked down at my hand and began unbandaging myself and dropped the gauze into the ground. I bite my fingers when I'm bored. It's out of hand most of the time. You're the first person I've talked to in years, other than my mom or a psychologist. Sorry about that, Toby. Maybe you could live with me if blank face agrees to it. Thanks. Shut up. He held my mouth shut with his hand. I could hear crunching of sticks in the distance. Shit. Hoodie lets me go and starts running really fast in the opposite direction of the noises. He didn't make a sound of running off, which I thought was really cool. I followed him closely while I somehow was making a ruckus in the crunching leaves underfoot. Why are you running? I shouted at Hoodie. No way, I'm going to let the po-po get me. Did you do something bad, or... Hate to break it to you, Tobster, but I can't be caught. The po-po would shoot me in sight. I'm wanted dead, not alive, if you catch my drift. Hoodie starts running ahead of me, to the point that I couldn't even keep up. I had to just give up. Gah! I was tackled to the ground by a man, only to be surrounded by many other men just like him. Oh no, this can't be. Number 49, we caught the boy and are now proceeding back to the client. Over. I heard a man talking to the radio on his shoulder. Let me up, please. I grunted as the man was still atop my back. I felt something on my wrist and click noise. Handcuffs? You have the right to remain silent, the cop told me while getting off my back and pulling me to my feet. The policeman started walking off and I got dragged with them. They didn't even let me completely stand. This is going to take a while. About an hour and a half passed, and still no sight of civilization. The German shepherd trotted slowly behind me with no men controlling him. The dog loyally followed and didn't walk off. What's his name? I openly asked the group of men, hoping to get an answer. Oh, her name is Rose. She belongs to the force, but we all love her. She's a tracking dog, not an attack dog. We used her to track you down. No words added on, I glanced up at the dog, and she stopped in her tracks. Why to give a dog-like grin that was welcoming? It made me feel warm on the inside. I smiled back at Rose, and she ran to catch up with us really fast and trotted beside me. I felt a real connection with Rose. One that we didn't need words to communicate. She's taken a real liking to you, Hotshot, an officer told me. Yeah, I like her too. Men were back. Let the boy out of his cuffs, but keep him close. The man dragging me announced. I looked at my side, breaking eye contact with Rose to see the familiar wooden fence of my house, and then the house towering over it. I, however, was still detained, still being dragged helplessly until I was let go at the porch of my front door. Police cars circled my house, and countless officers waited inside and out of the house. Rose walked up to me and licked my face happily. I'd pet her, but I'm stuck. A man took a look at me, and then made way for me. He grabbed my wrist and unlocked the cuffs, letting my arms free. The only thing on my mind was Rose, and I sprang onto her and pet her soft fur while she showered me with kisses. I giggled at this, and felt different for once. Like happiness, or maybe excitement. Joy? I don't know, but it's a mix of all of those emotions that I really like. Toby, go to your room. You're in big trouble, my mom said sternly. But you hit me, and I don't want to say goodbye to Rose. I made a frown and didn't get up. Toby, that's an order. If you thought that what I did before was bad, then what? My mom was cut off by another man. Beckman, take the boy to his room while I talk to his mother, an officer entreated. All right, another man said as he stepped up to me. Get up, boy. I got up, obeying his order. Come, Rose. I ordered Rose, and she happily walked alongside me as Beckman took me inside my home. He took me to the end of the hall where my room was located. We stepped in, and I sat on my bed and slipped off my shoes because I had manners. Rose jumped up with me and lay down on my lap. Another smile escaped my cheeks, and I stroked her playfully up and down her back. "Boy, what caused you to lock your mom in here?" Beckman asked me calmly but spaced out. "She hit me, and she never did that before." "Ah, I see. Why do you like our search and rescue dog so much?" So many questions. "Rose is a dog who I know will stick around. I just wish that I won't have to say goodbye." A tear dropped from my eye and slid down my cheek. "Boy, it's just a dog. Don't you have friends that you can talk to?" "No. I haven't talked to anyone other than my mom and doctors for the last 4 years. She locks me in here all day and only lets me out for dinner, bathroom breaks, and whenever I need to see a doctor." "Okay. Stay here. I'm going to speak with your commanding officer. Then I will come back." I nod and he leaves without taking Rose with him. Is a companion all that I needed this whole time? "Toby, we have good news for you. Your mother was not supposed to isolate you this much to the outside world, so now you can freely go in and out your bedroom and the house within reason. The locks on your window must be removed within the next 24 hours, and your mother is not allowed to harm you in any way or else she must go to jail." A wide smile formed on my face. I will not leave anytime soon. "Also, I have a surprise for you." "A surprise? I want it." "Rose now belongs to you. You clearly need more interaction to keep yourself happy, and she's old. Dog is bound to retire any month now." I girlishly squeal and hug the officer. There's no way life can get any better. "Well, Toby, call us if you have any more trouble. Good day, and I will drop in time to see how you are doing." "Okay. Great. See you next time." I waved goodbye to the Officer Beckman as he left the room. It was nightfall, so I turned my lamp on shockingly. It still flickered. I quickly gave the bulb a turn, and the flickering stopped. Looking over at Rose sleeping on the foot of my bed made me feel tired also. "Good night, Rose," I said to her as I got under my bed sheets to sleep. She hobbled over to me, snuggling herself under my arm. I hugged her slightly as I closed my eyes to sleep. In a cold sweat, I woke up. My lamp flickered again at untimely flicks. I left it on and the bulb must be dying out, so I turned off the lamp to hear an awful static noise come from outside my window. Getting out of bed, being careful not to wake Rose, I gazed out my window. Nothing there. Walking away, the static grew worse, so I walked back to the window and it faintly went away. Looking out again, I saw no difference, so I turned my head away to have the headful of static burst my eardrums. But this time, it is almost like I could see a red demonic face looking at me, that glowed dimly on the wall. Looking out the window again to have the noise stop, while I finally saw something worthwhile. A boy, wearing a white mask with black eyes, stood at the base of the woods. He clearly sees me because we were making direct eye contact. I look away, not to hear static anymore, and the red face, and look out the window once more to find the boy gone. It must be all my head. I want to see Hoodie again soon, I tell myself. The boy with the white mask reminded me of Hoodie for some reason. Maybe they know each other. Maybe they are brothers. Maybe this could be my mind going crazy because I'm tired as a dog. Chapter 2. Toby's point of view. "Toby, wake up! Breakfast!" Mother shouted from the kitchen. Groggily, I managed to get out of bed. When I stood up, Rose zoomed past me and out into the hallway. It's so unnatural for the door to be open. So exiting the room, I made sure to close the door behind me. I've never fed breakfast, and so I need to get used to my new lifestyle soon, or else I'll never get used to it. I slept in my day clothes? I asked myself as I was still wearing my gray jeans and black long-sleeve shirt. How come I never noticed? Toby, your waffles will be cold by the time you come out here, Mother shouted sternly. Waffles? I have always loved waffles, even though the last time I've eaten them was about a year ago. Without a second to waste, I ran out of the bedroom, full speed to find myself now at the dining room table. Morning, Toby. Now get your dog away from the table. She points at the end of the table where Rose sat upright in the table chair. A smile was planted on her face as she was waiting patiently for food, not going to help but laugh at the sight. Toby, Mother repeated sternly, as she glared at me. I sighed but still grinned. Come, Rose. I patted my thigh and she leaves her chair and sits beside me on the floor. Thank you. She walks over to me and places 3 waffles on my plate. She even gave sweet old Rose a waffle too. We didn't have dog food, so we had to feed her somehow. Mom then takes a seat across from me and places food upon her plate. I forgot she had already served me up, and Lily dug into my waffles. Have you heard of a fork? Mom looks at me with a face full of disgust while she held up her fork, instructing me how to use the one that lay beside my plate. Use the fork, Toby. Sorry, Mom, I awkwardly say with a snicker as I now used my fork. For fuck's sake, I don't need a fork. I'm not using syrup, and waffles are my hand food that should not be tainted with. After the rest of that one particular waffle was finished, I felt full. This wasn't normal, but then because of my small stomach, because I only eat once a day, and not much out of those meals, it wasn't a surprise. But me, neglecting waffles? What the hell? So secretly, I fed my waffles to the happy shepherd beside me, who begged for more and more. Mom kept glaring at me the whole time. I did so, which probably means she knows I was feeding Rose table scraps when I really shouldn't. Toby, you never get enough of waffles. It's your favorite food. Are you sick? I huffed at her as she walked over to me with a worried look and felt my forehead. You look pale. Maybe you should take some aspirin or get some rest. I swatted her hand off of me, and she gives me a look of dread because I never fight back against her motherly instincts. Ma, I'm always pale. It's like I've never seen the light of day, and I'm not very hungry this morning. That's all. I protested as her facial features relaxed. Well, all right. Why don't you go outside and walk around? Meet someone new. Make a friend. It may darken your skin a bit. She went to a closet and pulled out my thin blue hoodie that I wear almost twice a month. Toby, I know that after yesterday you have thought of me as a completely different person. I'm so sorry. Just please go have fun today. The hoodie was placed on my lap as she backed up with eyes full of sorrow. Fine. Great. I'm taking your dog out to get her new dog license and get a doghouse, so you won't be able to come back home till I do. Got it? She shuffled through the same closet and pulled out her trench coat that was the color chestnut and a pile of rope. Yeah, my head twitched worse than usual. A bone-breaking noise came and Mom jumped in her place while I stood there wide-eyed. I hate that dang twitch with a passion. Even I'm still not used to it, even though it's been going on since the very beginning. She bypassed and went ahead and left out the door with a happy-go-lucky shepherd with a leash made of rope. That meant that I should leave soon, also because she needs to lock the house. Staring at my hoodie, I still sat in place. Am I ready to go outside on my own? Man, it's like starting all over again in life. I have no idea what's in store. I set the hoodie on the table. I should really use it, but at the same time, I really don't want to. My black turtleneck should do just fine. My boots were at the table, and they had a new look to them. I'm guessing Mom polished them last night after my little run-off. That was quite a run last night. It was exhausting and boring, but yet at the same time, I really enjoyed it. Toby, I can't wait out here all day. What's holding you up? Sorry. Coming. I stumbled with my boots halfway on my feet and not even being tied. Wham! Shit. On the hardwood floor, flat on my chest, legs in the air, I should have taken that extra second to tie my shoes. Not like it hurt, but I hate being a clumsy weirdo. Flipping over my back and staying up, I noticed my boots were tied together. Were they like that when I put them on? They were in a knot, a good tight one too. This was clearly a prank. And yes, I do know Mom isn't exactly happy with me right now after last night, but she also wouldn't do this. Oh well. I grabbed a fork off from the table and wedged one of its prongs right into the middle of the knot. Instantly the knot loosened and came apart with a little struggle. This time, actually placing my feet into the shoes and tying them tightly so that I won't need to tie them again today. I gradually walked to the front door with a slight limp. Sometimes it sucks not being able to feel pain because I would have no idea if I dislocated, sprained, or broke something. I know for a fact, judging by my limp, I sprained an ankle. Toby, what happened? I heard a loud crash inside. Hold up. What happened to you? Mother stood outside her car with keys at hand. Just fine, alright. I tripped. I could feel my cheeks turn pink from embarrassment. Alright. See you soon, baby. Be safe. Bye. The horrid twitch happened again and the crack echoed through the neighborhood. And again, Mom jumped in place. It looked like that one scared her silly. Me giggling at her made her give me the stare of anger, shooting daggers at me. This caused me to laugh even harder. Gah! Something hit the back of my head. Reaching for the back of my head, I felt wet clumps of something cold in my wavy brown hair. Pulling out the clumps that took me a minute to pull out of my hair because of how hard the impact was, it was revealed as snow. Searching my surroundings, there wasn't another living soul in sight, other than myself and my mom in her car. She was pulling out of the driveway and cautiously drove out of the neighborhood. Who the heck threw that at me? Who knew snow was so cold? Hoodie? Was that you? I yelled out with a questioning tone. No answer. I thought that must have been Hoodie because he's the only guy around here who knows me. I began to nibble on my fingers because the fear was getting to me. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Stop freaking out, Toby. It's all in your head. Pulling my hands away from my mouth, I breathed in a couple of times before taking my first step out of the yard and into the sidewalk. I live in a small, quaint neighborhood. It just must be a boy out trying to get some entertainment. I took in the scenery. The snow glistened under the sun as if it had blue glitter strewn all over the surface, and the trees that have lost all their leaves looked perfect and elegant across the horizon of the sky. I couldn't help but stare at the snow even more. I feel like I can sometimes see rainbows in the snow that reflected the weak sun's rays. So fabulous. Just so fabulous. Don't call me gay, but I love rainbows. I've spent the last 5 years of my life blankly. Every little color. It was as if I was living life in black and white. With every new color I see, more joy fills my mind. Red. I see red in the distance. A new color, can't wait to see what it is. I began jogging over the sight of red I found from at least 10 feet away to find a snowbank with small spots of red. In writing, written in the same color. Ticci, Toby, let's play a little game of hide and seek. I hide, you find. I'm where you met a friend of mine. I gulped at this. First off, who can write that small and neat in the snow? Second, if I don't find this guy, then what? Bad or good? Third, what's that red stuff? And fourth, I better not get a dick up my ass when I find this guy. I've heard about rapists. Back at my house, I roared the woods. Should I do this? Man up, you scared worthless reject. A voice in my head yelled that wasn't mine. That was not my own thought. That's rude. Ignore him. Go into the woods before it's too late. There was another voice. It was different and nicer. His voice was more pleasing to hear than the first one. I can't go in there. Should I trust my own mind to lead me to safety? Nah. Turning back, I playfully stepped in my shoe prints I left while coming towards the woods. It's a friend of Hoodie's. Maybe it's just a game and he wants me to play along. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes, I'm going in there. I do want to see Hoodie again, but that voice scares the daylight out of me. The voice is deep and inhuman, with a hint of static, as if it came from computer text-to-speech program. That's definitely not my mind that is speaking to me. If it's that voice, then I should ignore it most of the time if it happens again. And I just know for a fact that it will. No! Good choice. Thanks. Wait. Did I just talk to myself? Whatever. Time skip. I feel like I've been walking for hours, but the watch on my left arm claims I've only been walking for one. I think I'm lost. You're going the right way, Toby. Keep going. No! Turn back! That line caused me to stop dead in my tracks. That's definitely not my mind speaking for me. It's almost as if my mind has multiple personalities, and two of them are shining through. A nice one and a bad one. I'm listening to the nicer voice. Keep going and watch your surroundings. He left clues to his hiding spot. And I began to tremble. I did continue walking, but sluggish and shaky. Around the base of a tree, maybe about 20 feet away, shone big pieces of bark around it. While the rest showed no sign of anything going near it, I spotted footprints at the base of the tree, but they went nowhere as if they disappeared. While bypassing the tree, a carved message sat upon it. Good choice. For what? There was another tree about 10 feet ahead of me with more footprints and bark. I did the same to that tree. Don't be alarmed. Why? My breathing grew tense and my footing stopped again. Am I in danger? Whack! A snowball hit my back and it threw me to my knees. This put me in evasiveness, and I began to run forward in hopes of great escape. This was dumb though, because I'm running in the direction the voice in my head keeps telling me to run at. Another tree had a message. Because I'm actually quite friendly. My running let up a bit at that message, but should I trust it? While thinking, I passed by another carved tree and just barely read it. Quit running when you see me. Huh? Looking forward, I saw a figure in the distance. Oh my god, and it's right where I met Hoodie. Hoodie! I yelled happily when still running, only to notice it wasn't Hoodie. I skidded to a halt before I ran into the guy. He stood with his back turned to me. He had short brown hair, spiky, or so-called messed up in places. He wore a brown jacket and jeans. I just kept staring at him and he didn't budge one bit. Neither did I. Hey there. I'm Toby. You clearly already know that, but what's yours? I held out my hand waiting for his, so instead I tapped his shoulder and he shuddered. Blam! My face was struck with more snow. The boy laughed distinctly like me in a way, and I struggled to get the snow out of my eyes. What the heck? Could you please knock it off with the snow throwing? You know, they're called snowballs, the boy corrected me. Yeah, I know, so please, knock it off, I growled at him. Sorry, I'm Masky. You've already met Hoodie. I loved playing hide and seek. More like scare the crap out of me, I growled again. I like to play like that. Dirty. Let's get out of here. Masky motioned for me to grab onto him, and I'm getting a wicked bad gay vibe from him. No! I shouted at Masky. Why not, Tickers? He puts a hand on his head that held a mask. First off, you scared the poop out of me. Second, your name doesn't make sense. And three, you're holding a knife. I shouted while backing up. Okay. He pulls down the mask that sat atop of his head. Chills went down my back as the mask stared into my soul. pitch black eyes and a pair of lips to match. The rest of the mask was pure white. "You're coming with me, one way or another." He placed the knife into my hand. He pulls out another from his pocket and backs up. "Fight me for your freedom. If you would've just came with me, you would've gotten away unharmed." Masky bends his knees into an invasive stance, while I held the knife in confusion. I don't know how to fight." "Yes, you do. You can easily take him." I can't fight!" I yelled out, only to see Masky lunging out at me, knife at hand, until his figure disappeared by a sudden flash of black standing before us both. Chapter 3. Toby's point of view. That black thing standing before us both acted as a separation. It blocked Masky's attack and also acted so that I couldn't see through it. But I could hear Masky loud and clear. He kept yelling and complaining, like, "Aw, come on, Slendy, let me at him." And, "What's the point of having us fight if you won't let me?" And he doesn't fight back. I knew that this was, in a way, set up, but I had a choice to fight or not. I took the fighting route when I really didn't think about it. Refuse equals force, and peace equals, well, peace. Why did I take this route? In a way, it wasn't even my choice. I never said I wanted to fight. I said I don't want to follow that. Didn't mean I wouldn't follow. But look at me now. A stupid, thin, black wall is protecting me. Thing is, I thought Masky looked quite friendly. But look at him now, he craves murder. Unstably, the world went white, and I heard static like from the night before, but stopped immediately when the world went back to normal, and my knife was missing. Only to notice I was back at home, 'cause I was at the very beginning of the woods next to my garage. "What just happened?" I asked loudly for everyone to hear. Nobody was around, and I couldn't piece together how I got here. "It's called teleportation, you idiots." What the heck? What the heck? He won't stop talking me through my mind. Who the heck are you?" I shout out for the whole world to hear. "None of your business, for now. But you'll eventually know." The voice was almost angry, and inhuman with the hint of static. That was the loudest I've ever heard it, and it made me jump out of my skin. I clawed at my face, thinking it was all a dream, and I knew to stop when the blood was visible on my fingers. So now I rocked back and forth on my butt with my arms wrapped around my knees. Am I going crazy? Am I hearing things? Am I dead? "Toby!" Someone shouted at me. I jumped from my position to my feet, breathing heavily and shaking. "Hoodie?" I was confused, wondering if the boy in front of me was real or not. "What's wrong with you? You look scared out of your mind. I was scared when I started calling your name and you weren't even reacting." And I flinched while inching away from him. "Toby, you need my help. What happened?" He grew stern and had a demanding tone. "I'm not going to ask again. Tell me." He furrowed his brow through his mask and slowly pulled out his butterfly knife from his pocket. Releasing the blade, I gulped down the lump in my throat and bolted. "There you are," another familiar voice said with a sly tone from out of nowhere. Masky, he already found me. Looking back, I saw them both chasing after me. Where did that dang knife go? I took a risk, one that could take my life, as I skipped sloppily on the snow dirt to survey the area. We were less than a mile from my house. But where is that knife? Only to feel a strong push onto one side of my body. I was tackled as I didn't think was going to happen, by whom I was surprised to be tackled and pinned down to the ground as he hovered over me, hands on my shoulders keeping me from getting up, one knee on my left calf, thus leaving me unable to move either of my legs, and his other knee was in my stomach, leaving me at a high need for air. "Think you could run away that easily, did you?" Hoodie playfully hisses into my face to signify that he had won. "I seriously thought you'd put a fight." and not be a coward and run away like a weasel. Like a weasel. Hoodie taunts me as he traces a knife on my neck. Say, Masky, where should I start? I say carve out his kidneys and call ourselves even with Jack. Masky jokes with him. Unfortunately, I don't think it was a joke at all. Good plan. Wait! I gasped out with the struggle. They both heard me, and less force was applied onto my stomach, which allowed me to gather my air back. You treated me like a friend, and now look at you. Hoodie's depressing mask dropped, as that must have meant he was frowning under it. That was before Mr. No-Face gave us his specific orders. Hoodie replies to me with a confusing statement. Hoodie, we were told not to kill him. Are we joking with him or not? His sister's scared to fight back as Sunday ordered. I don't think it's working. Let him run off for a couple of minutes, and then we track him down again and see if he fights back for his safety. Because he clearly knows we don't joke around. The boys were having a small conversation quietly. Clearly it wasn't for me to hear, but I heard each and every detail. When they parted from their little secret talk, they both looked back at me, only to feel Hoodie get off me, and I didn't waste time and ran away without looking back. Yeah, I'm doing what they expected me to do. But I will protect myself, even if it means I kill one of them while doing so. About 5 minutes had passed, and I heard the breaking of twigs and branches in the distance. Shit, they're coming for me. I wasn't even that close to home, and I just knew I could not make it back before they catch me once again. I should just give it all up and let them take me. Not like they could hurt me in the first place. Laying beside a tree, I noticed a weird plank of wood protruding from the base of the tree, as if the tree was hurting from the outside in. I pulled it out to find a hatchet deeply lodged into it. It wasn't easy pulling it out. I'm surprised that I was even able to pull it out, but also so very surprised that I didn't break it in the process. And the blade was very rusty. It's been here for a long while. But what a coincidence for me to be in danger and find this hatchet in such short notice. Now all I need to do is wait for my pursuers to come to me. Here they come. Here, Toby. Come out now. We know you're here. Masky's toying with me as if he was the predator and I was his prey, or a hunter playing his game. But the tables will turn. They'll be my prey, and I'll take them out. My twitching grew frequent in my life or death situation. It's making it hard to focus. The boys are close, maybe 10 or 20 feet away, and I'd need my full focus. Toby, come out wherever you are. Hoodie sounded like he was just behind the tree. Does he seriously know where I am? Crack! Crap, my twitch made that awful bone cracking noise that echoes through the woods, and I could hear it go a long distance. Looking at my surroundings, Hoodie jumps at me. With my right hand, I swing my hatchet handle down. The butt of the handle came into contact with his head, and he stumbled slightly, but soon regained his balance and swiped at me, and every swipe of his blade, until he managed to stab my shoulder. But I never flinched, and pulled the knife out, lodging it into a tree next to us both. Doesn't that hurt? Hoodie stops and asks, with Masky in the distance watching intently. How many times do I need to say I can't feel pain? With that, I took the hatchet and banged the butt against his head again with almost all of my force, and he falls to the ground motionless. I must have hit him unconscious. My turn, Twitchy. Masky runs up and punches me in my gut, again and again. Probably confused. He kept this up until I was finally able to throw a punch back at him, throwing him off guard. He came back in me full force with his knife at hand. I dodged one of his swipes. Next he tried punching me again, but with the handle of his knife in his fist. I threw up my arms and locked them together, blocking my chest and facial areas. I could feel the blade dig into my flesh when his punch landed. That's when he decided to throw down his knife and try to pry my arms apart. I didn't let him, though. I took this chance to punch him in the face or mask thing. He stumbled backwards, but he came back just as quick. Is he not getting the hint that fighting me is no use? I got fed up and swung the hatchet. It nicked his arm as blood seeped out from the cut. He cupped his wound with his opposite hand, and it didn't stop him. He came back again. Will he ever give up? This time he used his other arm that he wasn't really punching with when he had both arms. I easily dodged each one, swinging down the hatchet again, aiming for his upper arm of his currently mobile arm. It successfully landed, and I heard him loudly groan in pain. Blood endlessly ran out of his gash, and Masky looked up at me, probably with eyes full of fear. He turned around and began running off without his friend Hoodie. I didn't want him to leave, though. "Get back here, you wimp!" I shouted at him as a command. He didn't look back as he kept running off. I raised my hatchet, pulled it back, and threw it at Masky. The hatchet spun in a direct line as it gradually made way for him. I heard a blood-curdling scream from Masky as he fell to the ground. The hatchet struck him on his shoulder. Feeling satisfied, I ran over to him. He was still alive and awake, but he was immobile as he huffed and breathed deeply. The hatchet was lodged deeply in his shoulder, and the point of it was visible from the other side of his shoulder. Wow, it went all the way through. I pulled the axe out, making sure it was slowly done because I wanted him to suffer. "Stop! Stop!" Masky pleaded as he still played motionless. "No, I won't." I gladly took the hatchet out fully and quick. Kill. 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 I traced his back and swung again with both arms, using all my force. I still wanted him to suffer. The hatchet landed in his right calf, and he screamed again. This time it was his loudest. I laughed maniacally at his suffering. I bent down and started cutting his back open with his own knife, hearing more and more screams that gave me more pleasure. I pulled his knife back to stab his back, and lunged the knife, only to see that he wasn't there. What the fuck? I look around my surroundings and see I'm no longer in the woods, but I'm in my own home. I still had the hatchet, and it was covered in blood from the blade to the handle. And I had to look at myself and find myself covered in my blood, and probably Masky's also. Oh my god, what did I just do? That wasn't me who craved murder, but it was me who almost caused it. But I didn't want to let him escape. I enjoyed watching Masky suffer. I loved cutting him up. I'm proud of how I got that hatchet through him. I guess it was me who craved murder after all. "Toby, I'm home. Front door was unlocked, so I guess you found the spare key." Oh no, Mom's home. She can't see me covered in blood. She can't see the weapons. Digging through my dresser, I pulled out a set of nightclothes and hid the hatchet and knife among my clothes at the bottom of the dresser. Hopefully she doesn't go through my dresser. I ran full speed into the bathroom and locked the door. How am I going to hide all this? I grabbed my hair lightly and think deeply, only to be distracted as all of my attention lay on my reflection on the mirror. I haven't really ever seen myself in the mirror much before. I never noticed how pale I was, or noticed that my eyes have turned from gray to brown over the years. But what kills me is the blood splattered all over my face, and the hoodie I wore. I can't even say the hoodie is blue anymore. I can't even tell that there's stripes on my sleeves anymore, but they're still there. I see a murderer, not an innocent 17-year-old. Turning on the shower, I felt safe. For once. How can I hide my hoodie for now? The sleeves are tattered, and there's a huge stab mark on the shoulder where I was stabbed earlier. I took my hoodie right off to examine it more closely. I'll just need to wash it myself when Mom goes to work tomorrow. Off the shirt, too. I think it's bad when you don't even know what you look like. Now I know why Mom is so worried about me not eating that much. My ribs are visible, and I bet if I bend over, my spine would be visible. I wouldn't say I'm so skinny. It's disgusting, but I could put on weight. Bad thing is, I'm never actually hungry. And usually when someone isn't hungry, they don't eat, right? How are my wounds still bleeding? I'll need to cover up my arms until I heal up. Covering up my shoulder would be pretty easy, no doubt about it. I just hope Hoodie doesn't come after me again, 'cause I just know Masky won't try to get at me again. That's if he is even alive. I hope I didn't kill him. I want to make amends, but at the same time I don't, because he'll probably be scared out of his mind. And I don't want to fight them again. No matter what, I'll just win. Shower water has been running for numerous minutes, and at this point I'm just wasting water. So I better jump in now. I felt so cold from the outside world that the hot water hitting my skin lightly felt so nice. When all dressed, I walked out hiding my hoodie under the kitchen sink. Hopefully the sign of blood doesn't stink up the bathroom and catches Mom's attention. I wore a black jacket that was hanging off my bed, and even though I really shouldn't because of how cold it is outside, I wore a pair of gym shorts. It was already dark outside and I was tired. But then again, it's winter, so it gets dark at around 5 in the afternoon. Better go and check in with Mom. Hi, Toby. Did you have a nice day in the neighborhood? Did you make any friends? Mom, I'm not a kid. I'm 17. And I had an okay day. No friends. You'll always be my child. I wasn't too sure if you wanted dinner or not, but it's in the microwave if you're hungry. Okay. I left the room and grabbed some food. Wow, it's only 4:37 p.m.? I huffed at that realization. I know it's wrong to go to sleep this early, but maybe I can get some energy by eating, which will probably not happen. I've never liked chicken, but I need to fight through my drowsiness, and I need to eat because I'm disgusted by my own skinniness. 3 bites in, and I felt awful. Full but sick at the same time. I felt hot but cold at the same time. Toby, wake up! Someone kept nudging me. Wake up! I felt unable to move. I managed to open my eyes to see my mom really worried. Toby, go to bed. I need to talk to your father. Dad? He's home? God, no, please no. He hates me. Please say that this is all a dream. Don't ignore us. Leave the room now. No, it's him. Toby, come on, get up. She puts a hand on my back and rubs me lightly as I noticed I fell asleep at the table during dinner. Mom, I don't want, sweetie. Feel good. I can't move. I close my eyes again. I think I can only move my eyelids and my mouth. I can't feel physical pain, but I can definitely feel this. Boy, stop joking with us, or I'll put you on your knees begging for mercy. Dad threatens me, as he usually does. Stop it. He seriously doesn't look alright. This is why you were kicked out of the house in the first place. I can feel her hand on my forehead, and she feels so warm to the touch. I feel it nice. He's freezing to the touch. Like he needs help. He's absolutely like Elsa. He's just a cold-hearted bitch. That's it. Get out of my house. You don't talk to my son that way. He's my son too. I leave when I want. I've had enough of this. Do I need to call the police? No. Fuck you and your son, who should have died the second he met me. He slams the front door out loudly, and I heard a shattering noise. I think he broke a window. Toby, come work with me. She tries to immediately get me to my feet to hopefully get me to bed. She ended up dragging me, but the only part of me that touched the ground was my feet. When we entered my bedroom, she put me in bed and pulls the cover over me. I'm going to store drop some medicine. I'll be back as soon as possible. And then she leaves without another word spoken. I feel so awful. What's going to happen to me? Help will come to her aid. Just hold on a little longer. This is the last thing I heard before my vision went completely black. I felt as if I wasn't breathing. Weakly, I opened my eyes. I kept feeling as if I was being touched. My vision was faint, but I could still make things out. There was a little girl at my feet. She wore a pink nightgown and long, curly brown hair. Sunday, he's waking up. Thanks, Sally. I can't help but go wide-eyed. That voice, it's the one that speaks to me in my head. Oh my God. He did say he'd send aid, but I never needed it in the first place. Wait. Am I shirtless? Hi. The little girl giggles once or twice. You look funny. She starts giggling and almost in tears. How did she get in my room? And whom is she? With all my effort, I sit up only to get my arm pulled back. Try not to move this arm. I'm still patching you up. The static voice was stern. I looked over to my left to see my shoulder wrapped up tightly, and a white hand with long fingers clutched my arm tightly. And he worked on my arm with gauze and bandages. I followed where the hand belonged to. I followed a long arm that went up for what felt like forever, to finally find a shoulder, to notice the tall man was very slender, and wore a black suit. The man had no face, though. How was that even possible? It's not polite to stare, young one. I jerked my head down to my lap within an instant. How was he able to talk with no mouth? I don't even know. Just because I have no face doesn't mean I can't speak. Did he just read my mind? Wait, why is he here in the first place? Don't be scared, Sunday. He's actually quite friendly. The cute little girl reassured me, and I loosened up lightly. I'm here because you called for help. I never said anything. Well, you said you couldn't move and kept complaining about how you couldn't move. Why are you reading my mind in the first place? You'll know why later, but I'm here to fix your wounds. You put up a good fight, but you should have got help when you've taken damage. I couldn't feel it, so why would I fix myself? Just because you can't feel pain doesn't mean you can't die. You were dying until I came here. Then why is that girl here? Her name is Sally, and she wanted to help. She's the one who fixed your right arm. The tall man and I stopped seguing, and I looked down at both my arms, and they were now finished. One was clearly better mended than the other, but I could deal with it. Thank you, Sally, and Sunday? No problem. Sally giggles again. She must not be a day over 7 years old. She had an adorable laugh, and she looked adorable herself. Hey, I cleaned your hoodie for you. The blood made the hoodie turn gray in the wash, but the hood stayed blue. She lifted the hoodie from the bedstand beside her and showed me her work. It was also neatly sewn up where it was cut up on the sleeves and shoulder. It looked like it was a completely different hoodie now. Yes, the hood was blue, but now it was gray, and the stripes and the sleeves are now really dark gray, almost black. I actually like it more now than I did before. Thank you. But how long have I been out? About 3 hours. It's now almost midnight. Sunday answers me, but in a worrisome tone. Sally, we need to leave. But I want to talk to Toby, she complained sadly. Too bad. We can't be seen by his mother. Sunday quickly grasps Sally's hand gingerly and teleports out of my room. That explains how I got home in the first place. But Mom wasn't home, was she? Beep! Oh man, that was clear. That was her car horn. That meant she just locked her door. It was coming into the house. Wait, I'm shirtless and the wounds are visible. Luckily, the shirt I was wearing before laid beside my pillow, so I quickly threw it on and pretended to sleep. Man, she was probably all over town looking for medicine, and I really don't even need it now. I feel okay, not like I felt this morning, but fine. Better take Sunday's advice and fix my life-threatening wounds from now on. Mom stood up for me for once. Usually she goes along with Dad and is rude back to me. It was Dad's idea to lock me in my room for years. Mom actually looks really happy and cares for me, when she'd never do a thing for me. She could also just be overprotective. I don't know, but that could just be the case. I heard my door creak open, so I closed my eyes. She felt my forehead and kissed me lightly. Nice to see you're feeling better. I love you, Toby. You may not know that, but I do. And why am I talking to you? You're asleep. She turned away and left the room, and I couldn't help but smile in pure happiness. Good night, Toby. We shall meet again. So fabulous. Just so fabulous. Don't call me gay, but I love rainbows. And fourth, I better not get a dick up my ass when I find this guy. I've heard about rapist. Okay. Oh no. I looked back towards to see no one. I did, however, get another snowball to the face. This put me in This put me in evasiveness. Evasiveness? I think that's it. Oh my lord. I like to play that. Like that. Dirty. Let's get out of here. Masky motion for me to grab onto him, and I'm getting a wicked bad K vibe from him. Oh man, I forgot about this part, guys. Oh man. Okay, free read. No! I shouted at Masky. Why not, Tickers? Tickers. Tickers. Thank you. But how long have I been out? About 3 hours. It's now almost midnight. Oh, sorry, I thought that was Allie. About 3 hours. It's now almost midnight. Sunny answers me, but in a worried tone. In a worrisome tone. Fuck me in the ass. Ow. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this little Ticci Toby story for you guys. This was a little surprise that I wanted to show you. And I hope you enjoyed my absolutely ridiculous bloopers. There's so much more that goes on during storytelling, it is not even funny. I've had a few moments where I literally died on the floor laughing because I failed so miserably. And also another thing, I am so sorry about Sunday's voice. I couldn't get his voice low enough for his character, for it to be unique to him. So, I'm sorry his voice is all over the place, and I will try to fix that as much as I can. Either that, or have one of my friends play Slenderman for me. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Please do leave a like and subscribe today for more stories. And leave a comment down below what you guys think about the Ticci Toby story so far. And I'll see you guys in the next video.